I'm Muffin, and I'm half-ass ready. So, got a project I'm going to do today, and I've never actually tried to film myself working before. Um, so we're gonna have some fun today. Hopefully, I can edit all the goofy crap out. But I want to talk a little bit before I start. Um, the apocalypse. Shit hits the fan. The event, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Um, what's it going to be? I know everyone has their own theory, their own plan. So, and it goes from zombies to electromagnetic pulses, economic and social collapse of our civilization, terrorist attacks on our power grid, anything that could possibly bring about the end of civilization as we know it. So, I don't know what you're planning for. I know what I think is going to be the real threat. I mean, personally, I think, and this is just personally, I think we're at risk from domestic and international terrorism striking our grid, striking our ability to produce gasoline, fuel, and electricity, which would end our civilization as we know it. But I know a lot of people talk about EMPs, and I don't want to be unprepared for that, right? So it's big voodoo to me, big medicine. I don't particularly understand the science. I understand it's a real threat. So I did some research here, there, and yonder, and I decided that I'm going to build a Faraday cage. Don't want to spend a crap ton of money. So today we're going to build a Faraday cage out of a steel trash can. And as we go, I'll explain some what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I'm right, I'm right. But, and I know I've watched a few videos on it. I wanted to try it myself. You've probably seen 6 or 8 or 20 videos on it yourself. And I know I'm going to get some comments from electricians and people who are a lot smarter than I am about how bad I'm screwing up. But I'm going to do the best with what I have and what I could afford to do. So you'll see me clicking out and out different settings inside my shop. I do spend a lot of time in my shop, and so I'm going to try to show you step by step as we do this. So there's going to be a lot of edits in this video, and I don't normally edit. I normally just start talking and let it go where it goes. But anyway, we'll have a little fun today, and we're going to joke about EMPs, and we're going to joke about the apocalypse, even though I think it's a pretty serious thing. But I've had some really interesting discussions in the last few days. We'll talk about them while we're working. But anyway, stand by. We're going to get started on this project. Thank you. All right. Here's my trash can. Picked it up last night at Lowe's. All metal lid. Everything on it needs to be metal. I paid $36 for the trash can. Didn't really want to spend $36, but hey, at the end of this project, I'm going to be about $100 in. And $100 if it saves my electrical equipment or electronic equipment that I think I'm going to need. That is worth $100. But and I'm going to have an episode on just damn what I'm going to put in this thing. So, because I thought I knew, and then I got thinking, hell, I got a lot of room in here. Then I didn't really know what I wanted to put in here, what's going to be useful and what's not. So I'll probably do a video on what I'm putting in here. So after we get it built, but and I'll tell you what I know about Faraday cages and what I've learned. I don't whether I know it or not, but so the case needs to be conductive all the way around, right? No gaps. So, and the first thing I noticed, and I thought it was going to be relatively easy because I've seen a couple of videos where you put a radio or your cell phone inside this can and you put the lid on, And if you call your cell phone or the radio quits playing music, it's sealed, right? It's conductive. Yeah, but we're talking about 50 to 80,000 volts of electricity floating through the air. Again, I love Nikola Tesla, but I didn't really study his theories on this stuff. So, again, um, so I don't think there should be any gaps in this lid, and so in anywhere there should be no holes in this anywhere, right? So when I got the can out, I noticed that this trash can lid, and I'm assuming it's for strength in order to give it some rigidity, has these 4 indentions on the side, and they're going to leave a approximately 1/4 inch space in between the rim of the trash can and the inside of the lid, which is where the conductive seal is going to be made. Okay, so I want to address these divots. Okay, and so I ended up doing a lot of research. I thought I'd just squirt some silicone in there, but you know what? Silicone is an insulator, not a conductor. So I wanted something that would conduct electricity. And there are a lot of expensive electrical conductive silicons out there. They're impregnated with graphite or whatnot. They're all for the airline industry, aircraft industry, because they have to be conductive in order to keep static from building up on the wings or the fuselage of the airplane. And I'm not paying $80 for a 6-ounce, tube of this huge silicone. Read places where people made their own conductive silicone. You know what? It's got to be conductive over that 1/4 inch gap. Metal tape, okay? I'm going to make a metal tape seal that goes over this, and it should conduct the electricity around that gap, and I should be covered. Again, this is all theoretical, and we're going to see if, by the time I know it worked or didn't work, we probably won't have cell or internet so that you can know what happened. So, again, good luck to us, because SHFT, shit hit the fan, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to step off again and get my tape, and we're going to commence to fix it. Okay, here's what I've done. I took, I've already done 3 of the 4, but I took a piece of this foil tape. You have to take the backing off, of course. And I just went down inside. Made it conductive on both sides of that gap, right? Wrapped it around. There, I should have a conductive joint. Alright, that's going to be that for that part of it. So let's move on to something else. Okay, so I'm not real sure about these handles. I've been looking inside, so I don't really see any gaps where they're joined in. So I think I'm going to be okay there. I want to leave the handles on because I want to be able to move it around if I have to. So I think I'm not going to mess with the handles anymore. So there's this huge debate in the Faraday cage plan on whether you need to ground your stuff or not. I'm going to ground mine. So I'm going to take some really thick 4-gauge wire that I purchased. Stand by, I'm going to grab it. Purchased at my local auto parts store. Good 4-gauge wire. I'm going to put an eyelet on the end of the 4-gauge wire. Hold on, stand by, I got to get it. Okay, sorry. So this eyelet goes on the end of here. You crimp it on. It's all brass. So I don't want to put a hole inside of the cylinder, but these trash cans have this lip where they sit on the ground. So I'm going to drill a hole in this lip, not penetrating the cylinder itself. I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to stick a 3/8 bolt through there, and I'm going to bolt my ground wire to the can. Then I'll extend the ground wire out as far as I need to. I have a 10-foot copper ground rod that I'm going to put outside where I'm going to keep this located. So I'll drive that ground rod in the ground, and I will attach it with a brass lug. I'll show you that too here in a little while. But I'll attach it, the other end of this wire I will do the same way, crimp one of these on, and then I will put it on the ground rod, thus effectively taking any electricity that goes through this thing to ground, and it should disperse in the ground. Theoretically, this should be a safe Faraday cage. I'm also going to add, I'm going to take that metal tape, and I'm just going to add a gasket around the lip of the can, or I haven't made up my mind yet, or the lip of the inside of the trash can lid, just to make sure that there are no little tiny gaps here that I can't see. Should fix that, but it looks like it, what I see, it looks like it seals pretty good all the way around. So, but I am probably going to put a gasket on it. So let's get started on that. 13:30. So we'll go with 3/8 bit, and I'm going to drill this hole in this trash can. So stand by. I'm going to go grab my drill. Bell loaded up. Metal's pretty thin. Thought about tapping a punch on it, but I think I can handle this. It's not too bad. Probably going to make a little noise, so stand by. Here goes nothing. Or I should say, here goes nothing. Okay, that was pretty easy. Okay. Okay. As my father would have said, let's waller this thing out a little bit. Okay. When the bolt is through, I'll make the wire here a little while. Put my nut down on there. It'll be grounded. So there you go. Gonna probably be a minute for a pause here because we have to insulate the inside of this can, which is going to be tedious. You don't want anything, your electronics actually touching the can, because the can's conductive, so we have to insulate the inside of this. Cardboard, I'm going to use a piece of plywood to make the bottom. Probably going to use cardboard around the inside, and I'm putting cardboard inside the lid, and I may even make a secondary lid to cover the inside of the can. You just don't want anything electronic touching the can. Then the current can go through the electronic device. I'm also, when we go to putting things in, I'm probably going to wrap, at least in plastic, maybe even wrap in tin foil, the items that I put in here as the secondary Faraday cage inside of your Faraday cage. Again, I don't think if your Faraday cage works, I don't think the Faraday cage inside the cage is going to work. But redundancy. So I'm going to pause. We'll get kicking again. Okay, so I'm going to cut a circle for my plywood to fit down in the bottom of this. Alright, what I've done, I've attached my little jig to my piece of plywood with a screw. I'm going to put my pencil in that hole and it should draw a nice circle. I would say perfect circle, but it's not going to be perfect circle. Alright, we're going to try this one more time. Okay, again, I'm not guaranteeing it's a perfect circle. But I think it's going to work. Now I have to get my jigsaw out and cut this. And it's probably going to be loud and noisy and annoying. So let's just go find the jigsaw and get to it. Stand by. I'm going to make this cut. It's going to be loud and obnoxious, so stand by. Okay, got my circle cut. It looks like I might have to do a little trimming. I kind of figured I would. I cut it big just so that I would be able to trim. And I actually might be able yeah, I'm gonna have to trim this down just a little bit, but it's fine. Have the tools out. We can trim this a wee bit and get her into a position to go down in here. So, all right, let's make some more noise. Okay? Okay. All right. I think that's going to work. I've got it where it'll fit in the bottom. Nothing will be touching the bottom. Start lining it with some cardboard. So this may be a couple. This may take me a minute. So I'm just going to try to edit out the boring shit and we'll go with the real shit. But I got my bottom made. Look like it's going to fit. I think I'm going to wait to put it in because it's kind of hard to get in and out because it fits pretty good. So I think I'm going to wait till I get my cardboard in the side and then I can use this to make sure the cardboard stays against the side without having to do too much finagling. So, all right. So let's get on the cardboard plan. Alright, so got it lined with cardboard. I'm gonna so we've got a line of cardboard. I've got my lid Got my lid fixed the way I like it. So, got my ground rod nut on there. So, there you go. I've made a Faraday cage. We'll look at what I'm going to put in it on the next episode. Because that's got a lot of thinking to do. I got a lot of room to put in here. Been using microwaves as Faraday cage. I had a couple of microwaves, and I'm sure they're going to work, but you know, you're limited as the space that you can put in there. And this has seriously increased my space, so I can really drop back and figure out what I want to put in here, and things that I think I might need without an apocalypse I can put in the microwaves, because I can get to them easier than I'll be able to get to this one. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. Let me know what you think. Tell the ones you love them. This is Buffin. Let's get full ass ready. Thank you.